Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hey, I'm glad you found your way here. Look, y'all, I want to come talk to y'all today about freedom. Look, not the version on Instagram, not that version of freedom. Not the quit your job and move to Bali. Not that version of freedom. Not the fake freedom where like everything looks good but it feels really heavy. Okay? I just want to talk to y'all about my perspective of freedom. What freedom actually means to me. What it looks like in real life. What it feels like. And how I've learned that sometimes the hard way, that freedom is not what most people think it is, you know? So if you someone who like feels stuck or overwhelmed and tired, or like you doing everything you're supposed to be doing, but you just don't feel free, this conversation is for you. Come talk to me. Let's take a breath and let's talk. All right. So, for me, freedom is stability. And I know that may not sound like sexy or flashy. What's flashy is selling courses and making 6 figures in 6 months. That's flashy. But stability changed my life. Freedom for me is the ability. And I want to emphasize on that word. The ability to move how I want to move because my foundation is solid. When your life is like unstable, everything feels urgent. Everything feels reactive. Everything feels like a survival mode. That's not you choosing, that's you responding. You're not dreaming, you just coping. You done taught yourself how to manage some chaos. That's not being free. And stability gives you space. Stability gives you that space to think, breathe, instead of like feeling like you gotta scramble. And for me, that's freedom. Now, ability versus what you want versus what you have. I want to talk about something that really shifted my mindset. Now, there is a huge difference between having to do something, wanting to do something, and being able to do something. And most people live in that category where they have to do something. Like, I have to work this job, or I have to stay in this relationship, or I have to live like this, or I have to say yes. That is not freedom. You can have all the money in the world, but when you have to, you feel stuck. It's not free. Now, wanting to do something is better. But even that can be a little tricky, because sometimes we can want, and then it can be driven by pressure or comparison or trauma. But being able, for me, being able is freedom. When you're able to do something, you're not really cornered. You're not forced You're not operating from a fear. You're choosing. When you can say, I can do this if I want to, but I don't have to. That is freedom. That's power. I feel like we always have a choice. We always have a choice. If there's a will, no, if there's a God, there's a way. And I take that to heart. Like, if there's a God, there's a way. I am never stuck. I'm never cornered. We always have a choice. Nah, that may make some of y'all feel a little uncomfortable, but I stand on that. I do. I believe we always have a choice. Nah, before y'all get on my head about that, I'm not saying the choices are always easy. I'm not saying that choices are always fair. And I'm also not saying that some of your choices don't come with a consequence. But I don't feel like we are as trapped as we think we are. Sometimes the choice is we just gotta stay and be uncomfortable just a little bit longer. Or sometimes that choice is to leave and be afraid. Sometimes the choice can be familiar pain or unfamiliar growth. But it's still a choice. The moment I stop telling myself I have a choice, or the moment I stop telling myself I don't have a choice, and I started asking, what am I choosing? Everything changed. And I feel like when you can own your own decision, that's freedom. Even when they are hard, scary, or might cost you a little bit of something, might be a little bit of peace, might be a little bit of money. But when you can stand on your own decision, that's freedom. And money does not automatically mean you're free. Oh, I just got all this money, now I'm free. No, let's get into that. Let's talk about it a little bit. Let's get into money, because some people can get it twisted in that money category. Money does not mean you're just free. You can make 6 figures and still be living paycheck to paycheck. You can have a high income. Like, I'm telling you, I worked with a lot of people and I talked to a lot of people. You can have a high income and have like no peace. No peace. You can have a lot of money and still feel trapped. I've seen people with a lot of money who hate their lives. Like, hate their lives. They hate their jobs. They hate their relationships. They are drowning in debt. And they can't even say no to nobody. You got a lot of money and can't say no. That is not freedom to me. Freedom is not about how much you make. It's about how much you control whatever you have. How much control you have over your own life. Can you rest when you want to? Can you say no without panicking? Can you make a decision without wrecking your entire life? If you could do those things, that's freedom to me. Nah. Let's talk about real quick financial stability versus financial flexing, because I feel like we don't talk about this enough. There's a difference between looking rich and being stable. My mom used to always tell me, it could be a bum with a job. Bums can have jobs. Some people be flexing. New car, new bag, new trip. But their life is like one emergency away from falling apart. Do you hear me? I am not, I ain't judging because I've been there. That's how I know. And I didn't feel free. That was pressure. That's pressure with a filter on it. Financial stability can be boring to people who want to look impressive. But it's beautiful to people who want peace. Freedom is bills being paid without that anxiety. Freedom is saving for emergencies, not panicking every month, not borrowing from next week to survive. That's freedom to me. Now, if you want to get a little bit deeper, some freedom is not just financial, it's emotional too. Let's talk about some emotional freedom. You are not free if other people control your mood. If you are if you afraid to speak your truth, or if you stay silent just to keep the peace, that's consistently people pleasing. That's not freedom. Emotional freedom is being able to say, this don't work for me. I'm not available for that. I need space. I choose myself. I'm not feeling guilty about walking away. That level of freedom takes healing. It takes some boundary setting. It takes unlearning what you thought you knew. But once you taste that freedom, you ain't gonna want to go back to the old you, the old ways, the old thinking. Freedom feels like being in alignment. Your values start matching your actions. Your words start matching your life. And then when you say yes, you actually mean yes. And when you say no, you actually mean no. You're moving with intention. Freedom is waking up and not feeling like you betraying yourself or you letting yourself down. Freedom is being who you are, not who you have to perform to be to survive. That kind of freedom is built, it's chosen, and it's protected. So, yes, for me, freedom is stability. It's ability, it's choice, it's peace, it's alignment. It's not perfect. It's not endless money. It's not running away from your responsibilities. is being grounded enough to move how you want to move. And even if you on your way there, even if you're not even fully there yet, you're not behind, you're building. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and skedaddle. I really had that on my mind because, look, freedom is power. And if you want that power, you got to know how to manage it, obtain it, and what it is. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. If you guys resonated or if this video spoke to you, let me know in the comments. Let me know, what does freedom mean to you right now? And make sure y'all liking the video, comment, share if you have to, subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know the vibes. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in my next video. Love you. Deuces.